Theory of mind. Theory of mind refers to the ability to think about other people's thoughts. This mental mind reading helps humans to understand and predict the reactions of others, thus playing a crucial role in social development. One common method for determining if a child has reached this mental milestone is the false belief task. Theory of mind research began with a clever experiment referred to as the false belief test. The child is shown a picture story of Sally, who puts her ball in a basket and leaves the room. While Sally is out of the room, Anne comes along and takes the ball from the basket and puts it inside a box. The child is then asked where Sally thinks the ball is located when she comes back to the room. Is she going to look first in the box or in the basket? The right answer is she will look in the basket because that's where she put it and thinks it is at. But we have to infer this false belief against our own better knowledge that the ball is in the box. False belief tasks are very difficult for children before the age of 4 because of the cognitive effort it takes. 3-year-olds have difficulty distinguishing between what they once thought was true and what they now know to be true. They feel confident that what they know now is what they've always known. Even adults need to think through this task. To be successful at solving this type of task, the child must separate what he or she knows to be true from what someone else might think is true. In Piagetian terms, they must give up a tendency toward egocentrism. The child must also understand that what guides people's actions and responses are what they believe, rather than what is reality. In other words, people can mistakenly believe things that are false, and they will act based on this false knowledge. Consequently, prior to age 4, children are rarely successful at solving such a task. Researchers examining the development of theory of mind have been concerned by the overemphasis on the mastery of false belief as the primary measure of whether a child has attained theory of mind. Henry Wellman and his colleagues suggest that theory of mind is comprised of a number of components, each with its own developmental timeline. 2-year-olds understand the diversity of desires, yet, as noted earlier, it is not until age 4 or 5 that children grasp false belief. And not until middle childhood do they understand that people may hide how they really feel, in part because children in early childhood have difficulty hiding how they really feel. Cultural differences in theory of mind. Those in early childhood in the US, Australia, and Germany developed theory of mind in the sequence previously outlined. Yet Chinese and Iranian preschoolers acquire knowledge access before diverse beliefs. Research suggests that cultural differences in child caregiving may account for this reversal. Parents in collectivist cultures such as China and Iran emphasize conformity to the family and cultural values, greater respect for elders, and the acquisition of knowledge and academic skills more than they do autonomy and social skills. This could reduce the degree of familial conflict of opinions expressed in the family. In contrast, individualistic cultures encourage children to think for themselves and assert their own opinions, and this could increase the risk of conflict in beliefs being expressed by family members. As a result, children in individualistic cultures would acquire insight into the question of diversity of belief earlier, while children in collectivist cultures would acquire knowledge access earlier in the sequence. The role of conflict in aiding the development of theory of mind may account for the earlier age of onset of an understanding of false belief in children with siblings, especially older siblings. This awareness of the existence of theory of mind is part of social intelligence, such as recognizing that others can think differently about situations. It helps us to be more self-conscious, or aware that others can think of us in different ways, and it helps us to be able to be understanding, or be empathetic toward others. Moreover, this mind-reading ability helps us to anticipate and predict people's actions. The awareness of the mental states of others is important for communication and social skills. Milestones of cognitive development. The many theories of cognitive development and the different research that has been done about how children understand the world has allowed researchers to study the milestones that children who are typically developing experience in early childhood. Here is a table summarizing cognitive milestones in early childhood. By 3 years of age, most children can work toys with buttons, levers, and moving parts, play make-believe with dolls, animals, and people, do puzzles with 3 or 4 pieces, understand what the quantity of 2 means. By 4 years of age, most children can name some colors and some numbers, understand the idea of counting, start to understand time, remember parts of a story, understand the idea of same and different, play board or card games, tell you what they think is going to happen next in a book. By 5 years of age, most children can count 10 or more things, know about things used every day like money and food.